スですっきり味噌味日清カップヌードル味噌新登場イサンパ
Coming to town with Elijah and Kareem Mohammed, along with the Ugandan savage Kamala. And when those three are anywhere around, much less this Friday night in Austin, Texas, you can better bet all your Texas Texans that I and the Kareem Mohammed and Elijah and Kamala are going to be victorious. Coming to town with Elijah and Kareem Mohammed, along with the Ugandan savage Kamala. And when those three are anywhere around, much less this Friday night in Austin, Texas, you can better bet all your Texans that I and the Kareem Mohammed and Elijah and Kamala are going to be victorious.
It's Texas All-Star Wrestling on the road. I'm Steve Stack, and we're in Corpus Christi at the Memorial Coliseum, where tonight the big main event is going to have the Ugandan giant Kamala in the ring to take on the $1 million man, Bruiser Brody. And what a brawl that should be. A lot of other great, exciting matches, so you don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. Here with me are two giants themselves. They'll be wrestling here at the Memorial Coliseum in Corpus Christi tonight. First, I want to introduce you to the United States heavyweight champion, Big Bubba.
That's right, Steve. It's good to be here on the road in Corpus Christi. All the people out here are really great. And I'm really looking forward to defending this U.S. title down here in Corpus, too.
Well, Bubba, over here is your new formed tag team partner and friend from Halstead Street, Chicago, the one-man gang.
You got it, Steve. We're in Corpus Christi, Texas. We're on the road. Me and Big Bubba traveling around with all-star wrestling. You got the $1 million man, Bruiser Brody, Killer Tim Brooks, Austin Idol, that snake, Gary Hart. Gary Hart, you don't do what you did to me and Bubba and get away with it. Wherever we have to go, whatever town it has to be in, I would like nothing better to be right here in Corpus Christi at the Coliseum or whatever building it's in. Somewhere down the line, I'm going to get my hands on you, Slick, so you better watch out.
Thank you very much. One-man gang here, Big Bubba. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to go inside and pick up our opening matches, which is for the Asian Cup as the American Force defend that title against Killer Brooks and Austin Idol. Right after this.
We had a call a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the introductions of the American Force, the All-Asian Tag Team Champions. They're putting that title on the line here against Austin Idol and Killer Brooks, as we're at the Memorial Coliseum in Corpus Christi, Texas. You see the Asian Cup being shown by the referee, Manuel Villalobos. Now he ends it outside. Austin Idol and Killer Brooks with their second in the corner from H&H Associates. That is the Honorable Armand Hussein. The American Force, the Tag Team Champions of Texas and all Asia. And it's on the line here tonight. And here watching this match and with special interest is the General Skandor Akbar.
It's certainly going to be a supreme test for the American Force, because they are in the ring with two of the toughest, probably the most tenacious veterans of the mat world, talking about the Austin Idol and Killer Tim Brooks. Of course, you know how I feel about H&H Associates being Hart and Hussein. And, of course, right now I'm just an interested observer as to how this match is going to come around. You know, I've had my eyes on the American Force, and I really can't believe the success that they have attained in such a short time.
Let me tell you, General, they have taken on 300-pounders. They've taken on everybody that stepped in the ring with him, and they are still the champion.
Yes, yes, indeed, and that's why I'm observing them.
And welcome back to the IWAR Network Tubecast. I'm your host, Alex Sheen. With me this evening, we have Matt and we have Darren. What's going on tonight, gentlemen?
How you doing? It's an action-packed show. First thing we'll do, of course, everyone check our audio.
Audio check.
Can you hear everybody?
And I would just like to say this real quick. Remember to enter battle royals. Remember to do the match deals. No, Johnny B and Kimberly did not email me and ask me to do this. They did not tell me to do this. I just want you guys to enter the battle royal. Go for it.
Here we go.
There's our PSA for today.
Free matches coming my way.
That's true. Yeah.
And that was the last time I was included on the show. Thank you. Bye. No.
They want just to plug the battle royal.
So this is going to be our October 24 cycle and review. I guess we'll start with trivia questions from Johnny B.
Yes, I have that open and ready. So, as always, I have not seen these. So, here we go. All right. From Johnny B. Jr. I think we should begin tonight's segment with a round of kudos to Matt. Oh, that's me. For the fine work he did putting together the IWAR tribute to late Timothy Clark. I had a lot of help. Reading how much Tim meant to his fellow players was a moving experience. I feel everyone who shared their thoughts and wishes is to be commended for doing so. Nothing shows that the IWAR is a community more than the way we're all standing together in the wake of this tragedy. Well done, Matt. Kudos to everyone who took part. Thank you. I've said several times people have written to me and said they liked the issue. And I noticed Rob did a lot. If you're in the Gold Fed, a lot of leagues Rob was in. He put a little note in there too. And you know, Rob and I talked a lot. Jason and I talked a lot. It's a lot of, it's unexpected, and we all liked him. Like, I don't know anybody who didn't like Tim, and it's my way of kind of processing things. I went there and started digging through all his wrestlers and looking at the numbers, and because I'm a numbers nerd, and Tim was really, really good. And I think I mentioned this in my thing, that a teamwork aspect of the game. He loved working with other people, helping new guys learn, and feuds. I was always willing to throw out challenges, and if someone took him up on it, he ran with it. I think that's one I would say. Of anyone out there, if you're one of those guys who's looking for a feud, just don't wait for it to happen. Make it happen. Have fun with it. So thank you, Johnny B, and thanks everybody who took part. We're all going to miss Tim. All right. Shifting gears to a less serious matters. It's Alex going to be in trouble.
Oh, again.
I have been wrongly accused of spying on the Tubecast host in the past. And since Turnabout is fair play, I can now accuse one Alex G of spying on IWA headquarters. In the previous episode, which he recorded alone while undoubtedly sporting questionable attire, I haven't watched that one yet.
Oh, yeah, see that one.
He pondered, I wonder if IWA came out today, would it be an MMA version of the IWA? Oh, if it came out, if the IWA came out now, would it be MMA? He had the nerve to make that remark as if he was unaware of this year's theme for Imaginmania. I spent all last night searching for listening devices that might be concealed amongst my impressive collection of rare leather-bound books, but to no avail. He tried to throw me off the scent by innocently asking if anyone had ever created a UFC-inspired league. Since this is a trivia segment, after all, I'll respond that Tim Clark's Cage Animal Wrestling was intended to be just that, and his Final Impact League was originally conceived as a kickboxing league. He didn't have us go so far as to rename the holds or take any of the similarly drastic steps, but that's probably because he was such a nice guy and didn't want to cause extra work for us. Unlike a certain someone who insisted we hold back the CWL pay-per-view results so as not to spoil his surprise, as if Matt ever reads CT before recording the show. Actually,
he did today.
I did. I have notes upon notes. I read all the TT. Yeah, and I even had a helper today. Oh, the cat. Say hi. She hates me now.
Now, a little behind the scenes on that show, I had open invitations to everyone to come join me on that show, and no one took me up on it. So I'm just rambling to myself. And then I started playing Commodore 64.
You did it out of the blue. I had no idea you were in a show.
I
You're like, I'm doing a show.
I didn't know
I'm
I was.
I'm in bed.
I didn't know I was doing it until I did it. This
Yeah,
is one of those things.
I'm gonna be on vacation in December, kind of. So I'll have more time on one of the weeks of December, the 17th.
So
But I'll be being nursemaid.
So briefly,
So-
if for those of you who not in our group chat, I've been reading lots of wrestling magazines over the past week and a half or so, and I would say the year from 1991 to 1994 were the most IWA clones out there. Just ads galore.
Yeah, you were
I
sending those over.
found them all too. So I have a ton of those ads from the magazines that I kind of because I have them all scanned now too. So a ton of those ads, and they're some of them to there's some of them that are so bad there's a possible lawsuit probably involved because it was that similar, and other ones are just completely way out there too. It was.
I wonder, if anybody knows how many there were. At one time, they were fending off 10 different imitators, or whatever.
So I do.
IWA was the best one, though. Out of all of them, I tested out quite a few, and IWA was the best one.
It's the Cadillac for sure.
Yeah.
I remember what happened a lot, because I tried a couple different ones, is you would have very erratic service. So you'd join up, you'd send your stuff in, you'd get something back a month and a half later, maybe. Honestly, I'd forget that I joined. You're like, oh, yeah, the CWF. What the hell was that? And then what I would do, because I figured out pretty quick, I would recruit guys. So one guy was Matt Creamer, who was here in Matthew X in the CWF, and I had the Bostonian. And we had this feud going, and I'm like, dude, this game sucks. Let's get out of here. And he's like, well, I like the game. So I told him IWA, and he had stumbled upon this other game first. So when we went to IWA, he's like, this is actually on time. I'm like, I know.
So I posted one right now. It was actually a Rocky version of the game.
Yep.
So there's
That wasn't the IWA?
It was not. So there's a Superstar Pro Wrestling game. There's a Rocky game.
Okay, those guys. All right.
So
did IWA do a boxing game?
Yes.
I know
yes.
they did hockey, and they did.
Yeah,
I did. I won the championship at one point.
I was trying to remember. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they did. This game, by the way, the Superstar Wrestling game, some guy did a Kickstarter and brought it back. I don't know how it happened or whatever it worked, but it's the same exact game pretty much, but it's online. And you can do it electronically. And my friend's been doing it, and I'm his booker. It's the most bizarre thing. He's like, who should we have in these matches? Here's our record. So I book matches and send them to him, and he plays them. It's the most bizarre thing, because it's not like IWA at all. It's just okay.
And then
we'll sit there Skyping as he's, or whatever, Zooming as he's playing the game. I'm like, okay. What's that one say? Dream Team Wrestling?
This is Storm's Dream Team Wrestling.
Who's Storm?
I don't know who Storm was.
That's my friend's cat's name.
But he's probably in your neighborhood. Down in Dracut, wherever that is in Massachusetts.
Oh, Drake-it?
Whatever.
Is that what it said?
Yeah, that's where it's from.
That's about 40 minutes north of me. Yeah. Not even. All right, let me get these questions out of the way.
Yeah.
Or trivia. All right. The CWL Bulletin was home to an incredible 116 cards this past September cycle, and Alex wondered what the record was for that league. Darren stated via the chat box that the highest amount had formerly been 106 cards in January 2023 cycle. Apparently that is correct. Johnny, sorry, that was the question. I read it wrong. Sorry, that was the question. Johnny's answering. Johnny B. Jr. says, Darren is correct. And I would like to add that it was named the Celestial Wrestling League at the time. It was not part of the IWAR network. On a previous occasion, Alex inquired about the level of activity. I noted the CW's record since returning to the IWAR fold had occurred in the November 23rd cycle, 78 cards, 622 matches. The new high is exactly 300 more than that. I would say the commissioner is doing something right, probably many things right. Yes, Jeremy does a wonderful job.
Fantastic job.
I should have stolen him for the BRL so I could stop doing the BRL.
Yeah, he's doing great.
Yeah, his report's a lot of fun to read. So I know this last time he was really last minute plugging it in. All right, I saved the important question for Alex. Alex asked, does your local Dairy Queen serve Orange Julius? Here we go. Hard-hitting news here on the IWAR Tubecast. Johnny B. Jr. says, as any true fan of the Orange goodness is aware, Dairy Queen purchased the company in 1987 and proceeded to quietly replace the brand with its own store-by-store. When they discontinued Orange Julius menu at all grill and chill restaurants in 2019, it seemed like the end of the road for the erstwhile favorite of mall shoppers everywhere. But fear not, locations labeled treat only still offer a selection of fine Orange Julius products, including Julius Original. And fortunately for residents in my area, there are several such establishments to choose from. I'm not special in that regard because plenty of Ottawa managers have them close at hand so once Alex's 1997 Camaro is finally street legal, or real this time, he could safely satisfy his craving by taking a road trip to visit Matt or Scott or Ryan or Derek or Jeremy or Larry or Mike Drake. Basically, any player who never created a character whose best friend may forever tarnish his brand's initials. There it is. So, all right. And finally, and speaking of the name Julius, Alex mentioned that he was a fan of Dr. J, to which Matt replied his favorite Larry Bird. Alex shared footage of his new Commodore 64 emulator with viewers, and Matt used to own the real thing. That's true. Some suspect his current computer is still a Commodore 64. Close. This is a groundbreaking, well, formerly so, basketball game of the 64 called One-on-One Dr. J with Larry Bird. Yep. Yes, I remember that. I bet Tubecast viewers would love to see Alex face Matt face off in an 8-bit splendor. True, it's not retro wrestling game, but it's sports-related, features personal fouls for being overly aggressive, so it may still hold viewer interest. Perhaps the winner can be the first one to shatter the backboard. I may be biased because I was more of a fan of Dr. J, but I would say the game clearly illustrates that he was the cooler of the pair. Don't feel bad for Larry, though, because many years after professional career, an ultra-popular social media mascot was created in his honor. There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
So for those of you who are wondering what I was playing during my Commodore 64 session, it was Death Wish 3.
No,
the game.
All right.
It didn't really work.
I put another audio check note. No one said anything yet. So hopefully everyone hears us.
God, I hope so.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, yeah. So there's our IWA trivia. And as always, if you have questions for Johnny B, the IWA, or questions about the IWA or the game in general, let us know and we will happily add them in.
So speaking of my Camaro, right? So now I have a nemesis in the neighborhood. So there's this gentleman who has a 2004 Mustang. It's silver, and we kind of just rev at each other as we pass by each other all the time. So today we're at the gas station and we're just staring at each other because we're both probably too old to race anyway. So we're kind of just sitting there, just looking at each other.
Wow.
My car's faster on paper, though.
Well, it's good to have a rivalry to keep you.
Sure.
My car's fast on paper too.
So, where do you want to lead off?
BRL.
Do you want to lead off with the WTL since Darren's here?
Oh yeah. I guess you have breaking news.
Oh well, I guess overall as a whole, we could say that there's some big changes coming out of IWAR as of next year. We are shuffling the deck a bit, expanding the WTL. Darren's taking it on as commissioner, and he'll tell you more about that in the report and all that. Ryan is stepping away from it, and he's creating what's called All-American Championship Wrestling, and that's going to be the ACW, and that will be part of the IWAR network. And then the FIL, Scott Franklin's taking that on. It'll become tentatively the RTL, Rolling Thunder League. And though that will also join the IWAR. And then the Bloodbath League will be rejoining the IWAR. So we'll have all these leagues in there. So it'll be a bigger IWAR, as well as the Women's League. And the Women's League, the BWL, will be doing a deal where they're going to have some events with, I believe, the BBW. So there you go. So
if I ever come back, I'm doing a little person's league.
They already did that.
Did they? Did that work?
Yeah. It was short-lived.
You are such a dick.
Actually, Johnny B, I believe, would remember. I remember they did that, and it didn't take off, Or it didn't last
I
long.
think
Everything,
with
like,
the managers and their pensions for puns nowadays, I think that would probably do fairly decent.
I think Big Ben Jr. was the best creation I've ever created in my entire life. Come
yes.
on. I should have got more credit for that.
Oh, Ryan's here. Why isn't Ryan on this call? He could have plugged his own ECW. You bum. That's all right. All right. Well, do you want to lead off with WTL and
Sure. Number 100.
There it is.
Western Frontier Champion Arn I. Shiesty. Lone Star Champion Shanks Wilson. What do we got here? Justin Kyle with a 500, getting the Central Plains Championship. A Mexico champion was Huckleberry Aristides. And Dodge City champion was Photon Ray Gunslinger. Tombstone champion was the Trash Man Balls Buckshot. And Prairie View champion Tim Pressive. Widowmaker champion Nat J. Love. Badlands champion Mystic Angel. Cripple Creek champion from the Bunkhouse Brawl Shackles Malone. Southwest champion and winning $25,000 in iCash and 5 free matches, The Overtaker. And Chisholm Trail champion, Texas Jesse Tombstone. And of course, the tag team champions won 5 free matches, Mystic Angel and Fallen Angel. And the Lone Star tag team champions, Nasty Neil O'Donnell and Touchdown Tommy Maddox. And the Western Frontier 6-man champions had a 521, I believe, win 5 free matches for retaining the titles. And Shanks Wilson, Cell Block Charlie, Shackles Malone. And Lone Star 6-man champions were Wildcard Billy Buckshot, the Brains Bo Buckshot, and Benji Buckshot. And the Bunkhouse Brawl champion was Huckleberry Aristides.
All right. I dig that. So, Darren, do you have any kind of preliminary changes that you're going to make in this league, or you still working the kinks out?
The report will be different. I am more of a stats person than a trash talk commissioner, so it's going to take me some time to kind of work around that. But I am going to try.
Are you going to change the league title to Western States Heritage Championship?
No.
God damn it!
Actually,
God
the Western Trails theme is going to stay. All the hard work was already done. I'm just showing up. I just have to smile and nod. So I'm good. I'll leave that as is. The front page and back page will be different, but it's not extreme. It's just something that I thought I would throw together real quick. The report will be different. The payouts and stuff like that, it'll be different. But with the strong core of managers that they have in the WTL, I'm pretty confident that it should go pretty good.
Yeah, you have a nice foundation here with 86 cards. So,
and the 60 battle royal
Yeah.
entrants. Like what? Wait, what? Like my system, seriously, it got put to the test this time. It was huge because I'm usually in, very empty leagues, like one manager, 2 managers. So this is completely different for me, but it's going to be fun.
Fantastic.
Nice.
All right, Matt, you want to go into the BRL?
Sure. All right. So BRL number 626, and the league champion, winning $25 in IWA credit, Decapitator. And then the Battle Royal winner, also winning $25 in IWA credit, I hope I'm saying this right, Awilda Kleinsteiner.
Sounds racist.
Yes. It sure is. We have the McFlaherty brothers as tag champs. The TV tag champions, the Armed Forces of He-Man Hoven and Total Package U.S. Mail. The 6-man champions, the Trifecta, Hot Stuff Adam Cash, Dixon Ticonderoga, and Stevie Vertigo. The 6-man champions, Awilda Kleinsteiner, Brendan McFlaherty, and Punk Rock Mike. Our TV champion, Hot Stuff Adam Cash. Our Central Plains Dungeon Master, Sheldon Schrute. East Coast champion, Lightning Tiger, who had a pretty dope promo, so well done there. Great Lakes champion Wilda Kleinsteiner, Mid-Atlantic champion. That name's all over the place today, isn't it? Mid-Atlantic champion, author of Agony, LePage Turner. Northeast champion, Monster Truck Tanaka. Pacific Northwest champion, the Midnight Patriot, Michael King. Rocky Mountain champion, Wolf. Hungry like the Wolf. Southeast champion, Dixon Ticonderoga. Southwest champion, Hollywood DVS. And West Coast champion, Manhoven. So, there you go.
So what's going down in the BRL?
Well, with my plentiful notes, actually, this is BWL, NWL, WTL, CWL, BRL. And I also take notes for myself when I'm doing my promos. So, things that are going on in the BRL. Well, we have the Battlecade pay-per-view coming up, which is going to be here before you know it.
Yeah.
Because the results are in the November cycle, and then the pay-per-view up in the December cycle. And don't forget, this is the first year where they've installed a new school vacation approach. So there's going to be like 2 weeks off in the end of the year from IWAR. So we all get a chance to relax, enjoy the holidays, and then come back strong. So Battlecade will be like that as well. And we have all kinds of results going into it. Let me pull up there it is. Right where I wanted to go. Battlecade 19. So we have some interesting bouts. So one thing about this card, I won't go into super detail, but there are some matchups in here between rivals. And what I do is the winner of those rivalry matches will then get a spot in the Royal Rumble, which is in the WrestleRama pay-per-view, which is in the spring, the first show of the year. So we have like Electrified Steel Cage match, Will the Kleinsteiner versus American Destroyer. We have Brother versus Brother, Punk Rock Mike versus Agent 26. We have a mask versus mask match, which is Stevie Vertigo, who wears a mask, against Flash Jack Ferdinand, who's a very handsome fellow. If Stevie wins, well, if Stevie loses, he loses his mask. But if Stevie wins, Flashy Jack has to wear a mask. So, there you go. We got Monster Truck Tanaka versus Tsuyoshi Mizuku. I was butchered that. Sorry. There's also Elimination Chamber match between Hollywood DVS, Frandel Warp Slayer, Wolf, Steel Cutouts, your Everyday Hero Oliver Livingston, and a mystery entry. Now, one big thing about that mystery entry is we don't say who it is. It's a surprise, so there's that.
It's Diddy.
It's not Diddy, but Diddy did make an appearance in the CWL Trash Talk this cycle.
A couple of times.
yeah, he did. Relevant.
He's gonna
of course,
someone's gonna murder him.
Yeah. We have our championship match between Ghostly Shadows and author of Agony, LePage Turner. But there's still time for more matches. I put a little thing like hot placeholder. So if you want to get in there and have a matchup, let me know. I think one of the bigger notes in the BRL is one of the free agent signings we just pulled off. Now, if you look at the rankings for the BRL and go to the very bottom part of the rankings, you're going to see a name there and go, wait, why do I know this name? And the name you're going to know and you're going to love is the name of Joe Tusa. Joe Tusa was in the SVL. And, which is the SVL, right? Snake Venom League? Pretty sure. Anyways, he was in there, and he was winning battle royals, like back to back to back, right? And then Jake was like, I'm going to start entering the battle royals, and he started winning them. And poor Joe was so mad. But Joe started winning. He won a league title even. And so I had Dick Jackson, our commissioner, show up in the SVL and be like, I want to sign you to a contract. I want you in the BRL. And I agree, because you're taking a big fish in a small pond and putting him in the BRL. So Joe Tusa, welcome to the BRL. I haven't been this excited since Chris Jericho showed up on Raw. Like, it's that kind of like. Which, by the way, I have.
Of course, he's not going to be a draft pick, so we can't draft him. So, of course, Matt just twisted the draft all up. But what's he used now? Way to go. Way to go.
I know. The number one pick in the draft already in the BRL. It's funny because people are asking about the draft. The draft date's going to be in November, probably either right before or after. Probably before. I look at the date. But the draft is live and it's honest. And what's going to happen this year, we're going to have BRL, BBL, CWL, IWL, RTL, ACW, WTL, and who am I forgetting? Is it CWL? Like, all these leagues drafting, so it's going to be crazy. And we're trying to get as many people to send somebody into the draft as possible, because we're also going to be stocking up. Because people will be choosing to go to ACW, to create wrestlers, whatnot. But yeah, getting Joe Tusa into the BRL was a big move. I'm psyched about it. I'll be having fun with that.
Did he do a trash talk?
Did he what?
Did he do a trash talk this cycle?
Yes, he did. A small one, just a brief one, but no picture. No picture this time.
No picture with the two waitresses?
No, not yet. But it can happen. And I will say, this reminds me, like I said, of the Jericho arrival. And that always reminds me, whenever I start a new job, or if I got transferred to a new store, before I went to the store, I would queue up my phone. I have it saved as one of my favorites, and it's the Jericho arrival video. And it's just because it gets you a little pumped up, because I'm a nerd.
James Jensen to ask who gets the first pick.
What I've decided to do, we'll all decide it, but my thinking is two things. One, the brand new leagues should get first picks.
Thank you.
And then it'll be done by a matter of like average card activity. So like if you need more help, you should be higher in the draft. And if you have like the BRL is loaded, so we're pretty good. But there's players I want to get. But I already got Joe Tusa, so what else can I do?
So I have breaking draft news.
Oh, boy.
Very important draft news. Now, I'm going to cut a whole promo about the draft. First and foremost, if you have a guy right now that's not doing nothing, there's no reason for him not to be in the draft. So you have a random guy in a random league. You're not doing anything with them. You're not even trash talking with them. Throw him in the draft. You'll get a fresh coat of paint, some new scenery. It'll get you excited first and foremost. Number two, this will be done live. And people, this is a shoot, guys. This is a shoot. We don't manufacture the draft. We're trying to get the best guys, right? To our leagues. Right. I mean, that's what it's always been, and it's been pretty cutthroat. There are trades. There's all kinds of shenanigans. It's a fun time overall. It's probably the most important thing that we've done and that we've created. So get involved, and there's a contest attached to this, guys. That's the most important thing here. And guys, don't forget that you can actually create wrestlers to enter the draft as well.
Yeah.
So you want to have a new wrestler, you want to just join up and have fun. And most importantly, this year, for the first time in a long time, I will be doing the picking for the CWL this cycle. So you guys all around are in big trouble now. Because I will be making the picks for the CWL. So.
Okay, no one told me that. No one told me that. Wait, time out. I wasn't ready for this. I need Mike Cook on my side.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'll probably have somebody pick the picks for me in BRL because I'll be busy running the thing while we're doing it. So I'll need somebody there. But it is a lot of fun if you've never, taken part in one. It's a lot of fun to see where your wrestler ends up. And what we like people to do is kind of, as we're doing it on, like, usually it'll probably be like this, really. As we're doing it, we'll have live reactions. So I always go back to the year one guy expected to get like a high pick, and he didn't.
He's very upset.
He didn't, and it was twofold. One was he loaded the draft with wrestlers, like he had like 7 wrestlers in the draft, and two, he was already in almost every league anyways. So it wasn't like you were like, oh, I want to get this guy in my league. He's not there now. And he got legit, like shoot pissed about it.
Because, we're trying to, as commissioners, we're trying to boost activity. So, like, I'm looking for guys that, number one, that will play, right? So guys who are active, guys who participate in contests, people who, they pay a little extra to get involved in some of the events. I'm looking for those guys first and foremost. And then I'm looking for guys who are trash talking. So if you're a heavy trash talker and you participate and you're active, like, you're going to go pretty high. Sometimes, and there's sometimes where you draft the manager, not necessarily the wrestler.
Right, and I would say, like, for instance, I'm doing the draft preview issue, and I haven't even started work on it really, besides getting some of the notes together. What I'm doing this time is I'm having the players send me their promos.
Yep.
So instead of me, like, working my ass off putting together all these promos. I'm just collecting what they've sent me and slapping it together. And if you send me, like, one guy sent me this awesome, like, page and a half, like, promo, like, with his wrestler and everything, like, great. Another guy sent me a paragraph. That's fine. Give me an avatar, an image, and, you're pitching yourself, your wrestler, out there. And it's, like Alex said, it's not really about favorite. It's like you want to put people in your league you don't have now.
No.
So, like, for instance, it doesn't do me any good to, like, if I was to draft, like, I'm trying to think, like Aaron. Aaron's already in the BRL with me, so I don't need to draft him.
Unless it's a particular character that you want.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm looking heavy in the NWL. I'm looking heavy into a lot of different places. And guys, I'm starting to scout now. So put your best feet forward now at this point.
Yeah, and if you want to make a new wrestler, that's fine. Just give us a backstory. Yep. Give us a reason to want to draft them. You know.
Absolutely.
So I just want to say this, Alex. Free Quebec is ready. Whenever you want them, they're there. Free Quebec is ready. Number one, do it. You got it.
Everyone gets so mad at me.
There you go.
It would be unforgettable.
So, anyways, BRL wise, I think I talked about pretty much the major stuff. Was Joe Too Soon arriving? That was the big one. Just read the trash talk for yourselves. If you're in the BRL, start working up your rivalries, and just because you're in, to keep this in mind too. Just because you're in a league now doesn't mean and you say I want to be in the draft. That's fine. Doesn't mean the commissioner won't draft you again to keep you in the league. But
I've done that too.
Keep someone in the league. And just because you get drafted, night of the draft doesn't mean you can't get traded. As we remember, the Chameleon got drafted to, was it IWL? No, CWL.
IWL.
Was that what it was?
It took him.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's the deal that made the IWL monster. That's when we shot to number one after that. So
yep,
and we're number one for a while. By the way, in the BRL, see we have a picture of the BRL North American Championship, which should be now the official photo for that championship. So I just cut that out and now have that be the official championship because that's fantastic. It's a fucking bear on it, for Christ's sakes. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, there it is.
Although some of us might be offended because I'm looking at North America here and it's just missing half of it. It's no Canada out there, buddy. Come on now.
Just showing Canada.
Unbelievable, the insults. By the way, I was going to put a American flag on the old Camaro there, and then I realized when I was doing some research on it is that no, it was assembled and built in Canada. So it might get a maple leaf on there instead. So
there you go.
There it is.
Is it Bret Hart pink and black?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, that's the BRL there, folks. So there you go.
Yes, sir. All right.
Alex, what league are you going to do?
We're going to do CWL. Continental Wrestling League number 328. League champion, not to be mistaken with the Red Scorpion, the Midnight Scorpion. Apparently the Midnight Scorpion's been getting Red Scorpion's mail. So that's a thing. TV champion, Norman the Loon Kevkis, the real one, I think, this time. United States champion Bloodsucker Mo Squito, Yukon champion Future Man, Caribbean champion Mike freaking Mason, Amazon Basin champion They Count Chauncey Reynolds, British Isles champion Uncut Gem Greg E. Money, Arabian champion Alec Von Schnapp, South American champion Battle Axe, Siberian champion Master Sadist, East Asian champion Thomas T.D. Banks, Oceanic champion The Genuine Artificial, League Tag Team Champions Axel and Alex Von Schnapp. TV Tag Team Champions Thomas T.D. Banks and Derek Cash Styles. League Six-Man Champion Axel, Alex, and Alex Von Schnapp. TV Six-Man Champions Nutty Bunny 1, 2, and 3. And your Battle Royal winner winning 25. That's right, 25 free CWL matches. Johnny Walker, also known as The Edge. So what's going down in the CWL? Well, we're on our way to the next pay-per-view, which will be Nuclear Fallout. So the main events for that card will be Late Night Logan Kane taking on the Chameleon. About damn time. In addition to that, we have a CWL World Title match, which is Professor M. Algernon taking on Nature Boy Phil Landers, taking on Descapre Boombaye, son of a bitch.
Him too.
CWL Internet title match, Late Night Logan Kane taking on Thrash. CWL Tag title match, Millennial Reigns taking on the Syndicate. CWL six-man title matches, the Nutty Bunnies taking on the Von Schnaps. In addition to, we have Norman and Luke Kevkes versus the fake Norman and Luke Kevkes. AJ Hammer taking on Double D Christoph, and a gauntlet match where Luther Alexander will take on not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He will be taking on 7 opponents in a gauntlet match. So more news on that. You know he's going to take on the very best in the CWL to prove once and for all that he is the greatest wrestler in the history of wrestling. So 7 opponents for Luther at Nuclear Fallout. In addition to this, we have more nonsense from Barry USA Stevens that no one cares about. We have Mason, Mike Mason, and he's still having his issues with Zeb Martin, so take a look at that. We have good old Reese Rutledge with his shenanigans. Apparently, he did not. He was not the creator of Reese's Pieces. I found out this cycle. It's very, very disappointed. In addition to that, our good friend Big Bad Bob is back. Does he ever do anything though? Is my question about Big Bad Bob. Like he comes out, Goldberg music,
his Spiderweb pay-per-views.
Yeah, it's just he comes out and just kind of raises the UW World Championship belt over his head and kind of just leaves, and that's the MO here for him.
That's how it works, yeah.
And he doesn't fight anybody, doesn't wrestle anybody.
He beat up my wrestlers all the time.
I'll never forgive him because I wrote the whole entire promo in the exact font that he uses.
Yeah.
To make it look like it was his promo, and then it was Monster Knock came out. And he ignored it. I'm like, come on, man.
So what are we thinking? That he just doesn't? He's just in his own kind of world here. Very.
It's common. There's a lot of guys like that. In the
very
game,
very Red Scorpion-ish, perhaps.
Mm.
Yeah.
Which I wanted to ask Johnny B. What was his favorite Red Scorpion Easter egg?
Okay.
More shenanigans from the Nutty Buddies. Future Man is doing some stuff as well. Norman Kevkes, again, this is the real one. And then right into Luther, what I call Luther shenanigans and tomfoolery. I want to especially point out the Karate Fighter ads that's now featuring Luther Alexander as well now. Actually, this is from their comic book that I found, so I just kind of cut around it and then I put a Milton Bradley logo. And the whole Karate Fighters shenanigans is, I was watching a episode of Monday Night Raw, like a random one for I think 95 or 94.
Okay.
And they had this Karate Fighters tournament, like with all the wrestlers fucking playing Karate Fighters and shit. Like, this is ridiculous. What is this? So I'm watching, so I looked into more Karate Fighter shenanigans, and they actually had a whole tournament. And I believe in the finals it was Jerry the King Lawler taking on Sonny, which Sonny ended up being victorious in the Karate Fighters tournament. So I found it amusing, so I felt the need to kind of include that as well. Right. Did my own Nuclear Fallout poster. So I renamed the pay-per-view Nuclear Fallout: The Return of Luther Alexander, because I do things like that. I got this Luther Punisher picture that Scott sent over to me. And then we go into Risky Business. And I brought back a good old favorite, Lance Catamaran, by the way. Nice. He's hanging out at the East Lake High School. I don't know why he's over there. So Johnny B, don't get upset. He's over at the East Lake High School, so it's weird. Yeah, poor Horoscope, or Horace Hogan, like to call him. Poor Barry Stevens. Johnny B does make an appearance in this sneak attack as well. He's very upset. Johnny B is very mad at Luther for ruining his day. So He created a riot downtown Cleveland, Ohio. So
Yes.
and then poor Phantom Striker, I'm pretty sure he's dead, murdered. I don't know what happened there. Stopped hanging out with Diddy, and
Yep.
not all sneak attacks have to be successful. By the way, also like I've written a lot of sneak attacks where Luther just comes up short, or he falls to superior numbers, or slips on a banana peel, or in this case, just too late to enjoy the shenanigans. So there was a Lanny and Laurie kind of situation the cycle before, and Luther makes an appearance here, and he's just to witness the aftermath on this. He's like, oh, pretty cool, and just leaves. And then poor Mike Mason. Now this is kind of noteworthy because Mike Mason has participated in risky business sneak attacks before, so you should see it coming. So I had to write something a little bit special for Mike Mason, so he wouldn't look completely ridiculous. But yeah, involved good old Barry Holbrowitz, who was also involved in the sneak attack as well, and the Chameleon makes an appearance during the sneak attack as well. So I always pitch it hard for you guys. We lived in a shared universe, a shared space. So if things happen, other people are going to be around. They're going to be in the locker room. They're going to be in the arena, and it's always good to, from a writing standpoint, to kind of include those characters, even if they're just witnesses or in the background or kind of just walking into the bathroom, like good old Double D Christoph, who's just randomly in the bathroom for no reason. He's just there. But
yeah, why not? Hanging out.
He's hanging. He's in the bath. He has to use the bathroom. People use the bathroom. So again, we don't write TT in the bubble. We don't write sneak attacks in the bubble. We're in a shared universe. That's basically that's basically it. We have some stuff from Greggy Money and the new Money Inc., which I have a special thing that I'm gonna do next cycle. You guys will either hear about it or see about next cycle involving the new Money Inc. That's going to be fun. American Patriot and the Chameleon doing their cool stuff. Millennial Reign, Horoscope Phil Landers, Late Night Logan Ken. I don't like his tone. He's accusing Luther of shenanigans, and I don't appreciate that. Oh my God.
Alex, it's funny when I had the Big Ben Jr., I was really hoping in IWL that Luther would have taken the father angle and said that he was the father of Big Ben Jr., but he never did, and I was so disappointed.
I was out of gas, buddy. I was out of gas.
Right.
I would say I don't like to use the word burnt out, but I was definitely on autopilot for like a year.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the untrained eye probably looked like everything's fine on the surface, but definitely ran out of gas there for a while. But now I'm back, and
that's awesome.
Chock full of energy. So again, we round up with the Royal Family of Doom. I want to get more information about the Royal Family of Doom, and like I know they're in multiple leagues and such. Is that like a big stable of wrestlers, and are they all related? I don't know. So
all right,
there's a castle involved. It might get burnt. It might get burnt down at some point. So, like, is there where's King Doom? I don't know, because apparently they're very Game of Thrones, perhaps. Might see a Red Wedding in your future, though, guys. So just keep that in mind. And then we have the Edge, Johnny Walker, and then we have the note from Catfish Rob about our friend Tim Clark. So that is the CWL in a nutshell. Again, if I forget to mention anything, let me know. If you have something specifically you want me to talk about, shoot me a message, either email or through Matt, through the IWA, through Facebook. You can send me messages. I don't accept friend requests, not because I don't like you, it's because I don't do that anymore. I just don't need IWA people and my brother arguing about politics on my Facebook. It's weird. So, but you can always, you don't have to be my friend to DM me on Facebook. So you can go ahead and ask your questions, or if you're like, hey, listen, can you mention this on the Tubecast? I will 100% mention that for you. So I know a lot of you guys are not able to watch it live, but again, you can always put your questions or requests in the comment section too of the Facebook of the YouTube video. So, and that's my little spiel for that. So I in fact do dig that.
All right.
All right, dig that.
Alrighty. So we want to do NWL? That's what we're looking to do? NWL?
Sure.
Sure. Okay.
All right. So let's see here. This is NWL number 225. League champion, Scapegoat. TV champion, Swamp Sock Jr. Central Plains champion, Superstar, Danny Myers. East Coast champion, Hypnotic.
What?
Great. I'm pulling the Alex. Hypnotic. Great Lakes champion.
It's a bad drink, by the way.
Laney Teague. Middle Atlantic champion, Blitzkrieg. Northeast champion, Kamikaze. Pacific Northwest champion, Joker Z Uno. So whoever that is, they had a 501.
On their first fucking cycle?
Not
Get the fuck
sufficient,
out of here.
Whatever.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Rocky Mountains champion, Chainsaw Henley. Southeast champion, Starlight. Southwest champion, Blackheart, Bobby Bishop. And West Coast champion, Joker Z Trace. So then League Tag Champs, another 5 rematches. This is the 5th cycle to set the new record. Hypnotic and Blitzkrieg.
You call him Hypno Dick? Unbelievable.
Hypnotic, yeah. TV Tag Champions, a rising team, Starlight and Swamp Sock Jr. 6-man champions, Starlight, Swamp Sock Jr., and Chainsaw Henley. Well done, fellas. TV 6-man champions, Hypnotic, Blitzkrieg, and the reprobate, Lanny Teague. And the Battle Royal winner, the reprobate, Lanny Teague. So Lanny Teague, big cycle, racking up points. So welcome, new wrestlers. Joker Z, Uno Dos Tres. Curious how the, 501 happened, but we'll figure it out, I'm sure. Steve Austin, Mike the Goat Gordon, the First Lady, Aaliyah Zoe, Buck Remington. So Broken Diamond, Chris Healsborough, waiting for that big breakout. He's right on the cusp of breaking out. So, yeah. So, and so Rev J.R.
You're right, though. You're having a stroke. What the fuck was that?
No, the guy who's ranked last. Like, is that? It's it can't be J.R. Myers.
Who?
Because he's already in the wrestling game. Like, it says Cure / TCW, and I'm like, well, this shouldn't be a rookie wrestler if it's who I think it is. But we'll deal with that later.
Kim's getting sloppy.
Hey,
Kim's getting sloppy.
Johnny B taking handoffs and payouts. It's like.
Are we gonna get another bombshell warrior?
Wait, he is? He's taking payouts? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting a championship. I'm getting a champ. Kimberly
Get him a
loves me.
nice gift card to Dairy Queen.
He only
Get
takes
that
Tim
one,
Hortons.
Julius.
Tim Hortons, buddy.
Yeah. So NWL wise, there's a lot going on, but lots of good promos. The league's still hustling and bustling. I will say they figured it out, but I'll preface it by saying that last cycle there was a very big multi-page trash talk where Scapegoat, Blitzkrieg, Kamikaze, Hypnotic, the reprobate Lenny Teague, I'm going to paraphrase it, basically just went out and caused problems for people.
Good for
Among
them.
them, the Von Schnapps. And they had a little bar brawl type thing because Victor Von Schnapp was hitting on Lenny Teague's valet, Lori. And, before they could really get to fisticuffs, things were broken up. So I was thinking about how to respond trash talk-wise. Because if somebody calls you out, you should respond. And it's nothing else that's courteous. But I didn't want to do a sneak attack. I didn't want to do like, oh yeah, we challenge you to this. I wanted to make it something different. So
wait, time out. So the Von Snaps don't make people disappear anymore?
Well, we're working on that. No, so the Von Snaps were ambushed and whatever. So I had the idea in my head. I was thinking, what would a movie villain a really evil bad guy do? Because he could go out and have the hero beat up,
Inject him with AIDS.
What's that?
Inject him with AIDS.
Inject him with AIDS, or he could shoot his dog, or he could like burn down his barn, or like make his kids get kicked out of school, like something really vicious, like just like dick move, bro. So if you haven't had a
Okay,
chance to read
if we're
this trash
talking
talk,
about Ron Snaps, you have to have something with him sleeping with a mother or a grandmother or something. Come on, like.
well, there's one better. What's a better thing to do than to just sleep with someone? It's if a guy's trailer park type brawler wrestler, right? Let me find the page in the Bill Bulletin because I know it's in there. It is page, for those of you reading along at home, it's page 44. And it says, breaking news, what happened to Lori? And Lori is the valet for Lenny Teague. And I will say, I didn't realize she was not a talker. Cause I wish I had known ahead of time. I really realized. I thought she was just quiet, like Miss Elizabeth used to be. But she doesn't talk. But I wish I had realized that beforehand because I think it would have been even better. Because what happens is there's an incident that happens. She gets rushed to the hospital, and Dapper Dan D is outside, and he's like, oh, and she comes out with Lenny Teague, and they rush up to her, and they're like, hey, what happened? And, and she's like, well, I was told my food from DoorDash arrived, and when I went to go get it, I blacked out and I fell down the stairs. And it's just like having someone say, and I'll back somebody, when I worked in one retail job, I had an employee tell me she fell down the stairs, and I was convinced 100% that her husband beat the shit out of her. And then when she eventually told me that she drank herself into a stupor because she was sober for 15 years and her son disinvited her to his wedding and all this other stuff happened, I realized, oh, yeah, she drank. Anyways, so I thought it would be really good as a villainous act is to imply that Lenny Teague beat the shit out of her. So that's the whole idea is that this interview with her, or like asking her questions. Now, if I had done it, if I was to do it over again, I think it would have worked even better because instead of her answering the questions, if Lenny T kept cutting in saying, she's not talking to you, she's not talking to you, they'd be like, oh my God, like, let her talk. But still, it implies all the things, and like Dapper Dan D's like, fell down the stairs? And then I have clues in here, because I don't come out and say the Von Schnaps did it. I have him to say, I have it from a good source in the CWL that your injury is a result of domestic violence. Lori, do you feel safe with Lanny? So it's like, that's something a really evil bad guy does. Like, they don't just like beat you up. They mess with your life. And I'll just say, it's not over yet. There's more to come. And just remind everyone, whatever you do not call the number for the Get Safe helpline. So anyways, and then when you go to the Von Schnaps promo, the last thing that happens is Victor Von Schnaps talking, and then his phone goes off, and he's like, oh no, news just broke that Lori fell down the stairs, and Lenny says he didn't know what happened, and it's like, oh, it's a shame, So it's gonna be more into it, but I wanted to kind of respond to a good trash talk with some good stuff, so that should be fun. That'll be a lot of fun to follow that out. And of course, there's a picture of Swamp Sock Jr., so you have that, wearing lovey hearts. So don't ask how the Swamp Sock Jr. happened. Is there a Swamp Sock somewhere? Rusty changed the good promos. Starlight with a good promo. Just good promos all around. Lots of good stuff from Greggy Money, those guys. And then like Chris Hillsborough. There's some really good promos going around where they're recruiting, kind of stirring the pot.
Looks like good old Chris Hillsborough is a fellow Long Islander as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Sag Harbor's not. It's not that far.
No, all right. And of course, shockingly, Greggy Money and his New Money Incorporated guys attacked He-Man Hoban, who hasn't been active in months in the NWL, but that's okay.
Served it.
Send a message to drop the stable initiatives, but wait till what happens next cycle. You just wait. So that's NWL. I won't go into all of it. There's a lot here, really good stuff. Read the trash talk yourselves. Enjoy. Lots to enjoy there. There it is.
I dig it. Once again, I'm going to. I'm starting to get my petition together to have the NWL name changed from New Wave back to National because New Wave sucks. So
there it is.
at its peak as a league, as a driving force behind the IWAR, as a creative hot spots. It was known as the National Wrestling League. So
There it is.
there it is. One of I have 10 positions out. Number one is to eliminate all regional championships, but that's a whole nother story for another time. But what is next? So, I had it up. I was going to read it. Next up, Independent Wrestling League, number 198. League champion, Father Arturo Bartolo. Television champion, the King of the Ring, the Shotgun Kid.
There you go.
New York City champion, Suyu Pai. Los Angeles champion, Magnificent Marvin Moyer. Boston champion, Bob Bonecutter. Detroit champion, Maurice the Moose Fafon. Fayon. Okay. Cleveland champion, Death Valley Drifter. Dallas champion, Mimi. Memphis champion, Graham Ramada. Miami champion, Galem Turbo Samafi. San Francisco champion, Joe Boring. Chicago champion, Father Conrad. League tag team champions, winning 5 free matches. Americano, Hank Henkel, and Americano, Buddy Donner. Shut up. TV tag team champions, Father Conrad and Father Arturo Bartolo. League 6-man champions, winning another 5 free matches. Suyu Pai wins Detroit, and on points, Edward Porturon. TV 6-man champions, Axel, Alex, and Alex von Schnaps. And your Battle Royal winner, winning 40 free IWL matches, the King of the Ring, the Shotgun Kid.
Oof.
So, man, what's going down in the IWL?
Stuff.
Thought you had notes.
There's a massive write-up to read from Royal Flush pay-per-view.
Nice.
That Derek put a lot of work into.
Sure did.
So I encourage everyone to give it a read. There's a lot of twists and turns, some controversy. I just feel it's the best way to get involved. And what's really Derek does a nice job as well of recapping the previous cycle's trash talk. So really, it's like having 3 bulletins. You have last cycle's recap, you have this cycle's trash talk, and you have the pay-per-view. So you've left going off of that. Let's see here. Let's see. Well, I have little tiny notes here. I enjoyed Cliff Everest's supply list. I enjoyed Uncle Slam, who's a new face in the league, and the fans chant Slam Slam. I like that little boy in a wheelchair dressed as Uncle Slam. That was a nice touch. The Northwest Pacific Club, I think that's how it was, NPC. Northwest Players Club, sorry, that's what it was. The Regs, of course, having a hard time coming to grips with the fact that Shotgun, James Carnage, and the Chameleon are the IWAR Tag Team Champions.
Unbelievable.
But they are. The Lizard King looks an awfully lot like, well, the Lizard King. I'll leave it at that. Read my own notes. I like the press media going up to Suyu Pai and asking about his failures lately. And he's like, oh, no. But mind you, he's like, had the 6-man titles for 7 cycles in a row, what the hell it is. Because I can't seem to break that split there. Because he hits 521, I hit 521. Very annoying.
Who's running the grammar police?
That's Flash Jack Ferdinand. That's Kevin.
Okay.
So yeah, those guys are on top of
And
things.
that Hank Henkel looks very familiar. Looks like me with a bandana on.
Oh, really?
Makes him untrustworthy.
I actually, earlier, I did a quick edit. I did the new gear for them to make them even more American looking. So the Americanos, that originally they were going to be like this, the Savage Samoans or the Wild Samoans, but they were just Americans because we're kind of like the biggest dicks in the world. So it's like, we're the ones doing stuff all over the world. And like, hey, mind your business. We're tough guys. So yeah, there is a little beard. I can't remember what the hell I wrote here. Father Arturo Bartolo, post pay-per-view, called out Riley Orton. No relation. Let's see here. The Americanos did call out the other team to do the thing to honor Christopher Destruction and Kenneth Oblivion, who were Tim's tag team.
No.
That are the current number one over all-time tag team in IWL, and they're very, very close to passing them. So they're tip of the caps in. They're going to raise their game, and they retain the titles. So far, so good. I was this close to a tag. I had the wrong 25 in the wrong spot. So almost a great cycle. But it was still a good cycle.
Speaking of, is there a way to get Tim's wrestlers into the Hall of Fame?
Yes, the IWA put. If you look at the IWA report cycle that just came out, I think they put it was Spitfire, Jeannie Briggs, and Timothy Zastampowski were the two that qualified. So I know, when
IWAR have a Hall of Fame?
Not yet, but we probably should put that together. Not it.
Wait, Alex, it's all Alex.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, Alex is trouble. No, I know, back when Edward Ledger passed away, I took $2.5 million from Matara, from Lucha, and gave it to his wrestler to get Edward Ledger into the Hall of Fame because he was short. Poor Atari's been broke ever since. Everyone's always like, why does Atari have no money? Yeah, he should have $5 million by now, but actually, no, $4 million and change. But no, it's just the Attaway automatically induced or put in the guys he had that I know of. I know I asked for them for a list of all of his IWAR wrestlers. I know he had more out there, but I think as far as I know, if I look real quick, oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry. If I look at the results and go to the report, I believe it's just two. I'm sorry. It was Isla the Terrible in the BBL. It was Bodybag Clark, Spitfire Jeannie Briggs, Timothy Zastampowski, and Yepers McGee. And I if you read my note about Tim, I had a note about Timothy Zastampowski and the rivalry we had. So he had 41 stars, and he was very good with TZ.
Yeah.
So a lot of retirements this cycle. So there you go.
I'm honored that I have two wrestlers going in at the same time as him, so that's pretty cool.
There you go.
All right, I dig it. With all these extra leads going to the IWAR, we won't have to make this show 9 hours long. We won't have to start earlier.
Yeah, that's true.
So what's next?
And here I was gonna recite the Canadian national anthem for you guys.
Is it that long?
Well, I think we're gonna
So I only if Robert Goulet sings it. So that's the only way we do it.
So we're down to the BWL. You want to do that? Or you want me to do it?
I'll do it. BWL Bulletin number 43. Black Widow champion, Queen of the Ring, Aria Gunpowder. BWL television champion, Barb Dwyer. BWL Battle Royal winner is the Huntress. Japan Idol champion, Queen Bee, Sarah B. Money, Joshi champion, Jersey Jen Grapevine. Zenjo champ. What the fuck does Zenjo mean?
Zenjo.
What the fuck is that?
I think you asked that before.
Okay, what does it mean in Japanese?
It means
you're
don't
a
ask
champion.
what this means in Japanese.
Unbelievable. The Supreme Court Justice. Luchadores champion, Sensational Sydney Reinhardt. Cholitas champion, Rachel Van Dorn. Bellatrix champion, Huntress. Damascarian champ, Wildfire Betty Red. Hollywood champion, Better Than You. Sin City champion, Gold Digger Gina Colada. Willowwick champion, Rachel Zamazaki. So, Matt, what's going down in the Black Widow League?
Well, according to my notes, ever since RVD beat the meat to win the IWAR Women's Championship.
Fucking knew it.
Wait, say that again. One more time. Say that. What was that?
RVD, Rachel Van Dorn beat the Meat to become the new IWAR Women's Champion.
Beat the what? Beat the what?
Meat Train, women's wrestler Meat Train. Who, if you look at Gina Colada's trash talk, she says now she beat her. She's just meat curtains. Because that's what we do here. We're adults.
I'm new.
One interesting news note is that last cycle, the Armed Forces, U.S. Mail, and Heman Hoban crashed the party in BWL and tried to recruit a woman to be their valet. And I wasn't expecting anyone to bite, but Jersey Jen Grapevine seemed interested. So that might actually happen. There's a lot going on, but I want to try a couple of things here. The commission report's really, really well written. I like that report. It's easy to read and follow. We have another review coming up. I do want to mention that, and I'm going to pull it up here. There's a contest coming up through the BWL that you can join if you're in the BWL. And it's the women's death matches. So it's $2 per entry. Winner gets 70%, second 25, third 5. November tour is when it starts, and it's a half stack. So the first, like the top half of scores, advance, and then the 8 finalists will be seeded for one-on-one elimination. So it's a deathmatch tournament. So there you have it. So I'm going to be joining it. So if you want to get involved, I have more fun. It's a little way to get involved. I see that right now there's 1, 2, 3 different leagues represented, including Lady Swine, Mother Dragon, Falana Luna, Blackjack Bewitty. So there you go. So I would say get involved and give it a try. You have as much fun as you can, and any way to win extra money is fun by me. So there's your BWL, and that's all I'm doing because I'm getting up in 4 hours, not even.
Son of a bitch.
Yep.
All right, Matt, what do you got for us? IWAR Wide.
Well, IWAR Wide. Let me go back to here.
Rumble in the Bronx.
Sorry for throwing rocks. Yes.
No, Rumble in the Bronx.
Letting you do that one. That's your show.
It is.
Maybe. But speaking of fun things, the 6th ladder match battle royal will be in December. So if you want in, it's $1 per entry. It's 3 entries max, and it's anywhere across the IWAR. And as you will see, if you go to the BRL, WTL pages, you'll see how this works. It's like the Money in the Bank thing, where you get a guaranteed shot at any commissioner's title across the IWAR. And we saw that in effect this cycle when it was in the BRL where it happened, so to speak. But IWAR World Champion, an all-around good guy. Actually, where'd it go? Sorry. Let me find it here. Where'd it go? Oh, it didn't. It's not in there, I guess. That's fantastic. Well, whatever. It's in NWL. How did I not put it in there? That's annoying.
Motherfucker.
All right. Well, I'll give you the play-by-play. This is the breaking news. There was a exhibition match where every year at the BRL's Halloween Fun Fest for the fall, they have one wrestler show up as a surprise to wrestle, that's right, the Willowick Scarecrow. And the Willowick Scarecrow is waiting in the ring, and out walks the IWAR World Champion, Double R, Rob Ratliff. He comes out, he's all excited, and as he's about to start, out walks 2/3 the trifecta, Adam Cash and Stevie Vertigo. They walk out, and he's like, "What's going on? Where's Dixon Ticonderoga, your third guy?" And they're like, "Don't worry about him." And so, of course, now I can't find it. This is annoying. I know I saw it in one of the leagues. I was like, what? Let me find it here. That's annoying. And there it is. Okay. So as they're talking, and Double R's like, What do you want? And Adam's like, oh, we're here to promote the 6th IWAR Ladder Match Battle Royal. If you win it, you get a briefcase, and you get a chance to challenge any IWAR Commissioner Champion, from the IWAR World Championship to could be global title, could be the Western Heritage title, whatever it is. And
World Southern Championship?
That as well. And as they're talking, Adam just says, well, Lucha hasn't cashed it in because he asked who had won last year, so Lucha did. And if you were in the IWA playing this year, you remember I did a lot of bulletin work where Lucha was challenging threatening the various commission champions across the game. Like Greg E. Money even came out and was in a promo this cycle where he was like, you threatened me, and beat up Lucha in one of the leagues. So as they're talking, the Will-O-Wisp Scarecrow ambushes Double R, beats him with his guitar. They beat him bloody, chokes him with his guitar strings, and it's actually Dixon Ticonderoga in the costume. And then all of a sudden, Mexican radio starts to play, and out walks Senya Lucha. And of course, Dapper Dean, of course, says, as all wrestling announcers should say, Senya Lucha, what's he doing here? It's one of my favorite wrestling tropes. Long story short, too late. They beat the shit out of Rob. Lucha gets the referee his briefcase, starts the match. Lucha flattens him with a million peso knee strike, covers him 1, 2, 3, and we have a new IWAR World Champion, and that is Senya Lucha. So there you see that thing. Now, you can cash that in at any time, and Rob and I had talked about this before the cycle started, and I said, I'm going to cash it in because he was possibly going to take a break at one point after what happened with Tim, and I said, well, if you want to take a break, that's fine, but I'd like to, and he was like, oh, yeah. He was like, yeah, I've had it for a year. I've had it long enough. It's fine. So even with him using the wrong Federation holds, it was still only a 3-point win by Lucha, so he did pretty well anyways.
I have a question for you for that. Now, does he continue to be the WTL champion, or does that get stripped?
That could be your decision as commissioner. You could say, I want to.
Yeah. He's a masked wrestler, so yeah, he's getting stripped of that title then. Yeah.
So sure. he could give it up, or he could try to give it to Cowboy Jim Spur.
Yeah.
But that's a way to work, trash talk and whatnot.
We'll see what happens.
There you go. All right. So anyways, that was that. Other stuff going on, IWAR-wise. We had the next round of the War Games, and I sent out an email where I had a posting of all the people who advanced.
Not me.
Not you. Sorry. 4 teams. And I don't want to get into all of it, but we're down to 5 teams in the Trios Cup. We're down to 11 tag teams, and we're down to 22 singles wrestlers. And that is going to be next round. So again, that's another eliminator where the top half advance and the bottom half dump down. And then, of course, the top score of the last cycle is the winner. So there's that. And again, the IWAR draft, get involved. And this cycle, this is important. This is a trash talk challenge. I had this idea, and I wanted to run with it, so I put it a challenge, and I'm putting $5 of my own money and IWA credit up. Whoever has the best Halloween/horror themed trash talk this coming cycle, one of you will win $5 in IWA credit.
I already won it.
There you go. There's over. Sorry,
I already wrote my TT for next cycle, so I already won.
Nice. There it is.
There it is. There it is.
Is that Lou Thez on the ground?
Let me see. Hold on, I just clicked off of it.
It's Brody, but I think he's fighting some old dude.
It looks like Thez, yeah. Sure
does. No, not Lou Thez. Oh my gosh.
Fuck him. That's why.
Is that Dory Funk?
Or is that Orton or is that Thez?
That's Dory Funk, I think.
Or Dory Funk. Sorry.
It could be Dory Funk.
I would see Dory Funk in the Caribbean, right?
No, they booked there. Both him and Terry booked there, so they were the bookers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is he the face or the heel?
It's Brody in Puerto Rico, so he's probably the face.
Yeah, that's Dory. I think that's Dory Funk.
One of the strangest things that WCW ever did one time was circa 1994 when Eric Bischoff is trying to create the 90s version of the AWA for a short period of time. So he turned WCW to an AWA tribute promotion for like 6 months. At Slamboree, they did a match with was Dory Funk, former NWA champion, taking on Nick Bockwinkel, former AWA world champion, in the middle of a pay-per-view for no reason. That was ridiculous.
I liked AWA back in the day.
I did too. It didn't get bad. Like when most people thought it got bad. Like even post Hogan, it was fine. It didn't get bad till like the middle of '88, and then it started getting rough.
Larry Zbyszko.
Yeah. It's like when they put the belt on Saito for like, yeah, he's in Japan. It's like what?
Hey, yeah, why not?
Well, they did like there's a lot of like once Hennig lost the belt, and they did the stuff with Hansen, and that was a debacle, and that was basically it. You know, they went downhill pretty fast, and Team Challenge Series, which I've seen the actually pilot for that.
Yes,
it's insane. They were trying to compete with American Gladiators. Was the initial concept for that, but
I remember that
AWA was good like that. They were making money in 84 and 85 and 86. Like they were still. They had the Road Warriors still, and they had guys. It's just they lost their nucleus. Like if you're gonna lose Hogan, Ventura, Schultz, Bobby, Okerlund.
Back in AWA, I didn't think Hogan was that good. Like he wasn't that good back then.
He was over. He was
over. I didn't see the appeal.
Like he was.
I would rather watch Andre the Giant than him. But I mean, hey.
Well, you heard on the Vince documentary that if it was Hogan wasn't necessarily the first choice. It was, as I believe I said on an episode of the 1983 project, that I thought Dusty would have probably been a better fit at the time. And Vince confirmed it on the documentary. He's like, nah, I wanted to go with Dusty. He didn't want to come. So imagine how different that is. And then, oh, by the way, James Jensen is asking, Matt, do you have the PDF of NWL 224?
PDF, I do not have that, no. Okay. The Attaway will. If you write the Attaway and say, hey, can you send me the PDF? I think if they go back 1 year, if you ask. Yeah. But
ask Kimberly, she'll send it to you.
Yeah, they're good about that.
You'll charge you $1.
I think if they send it to you, they will. But if they just mail you the PDF, I don't think they will.
I'm just trying to get them to make more money so they can charge me less.
All right. Well, speaking of charging less, I'm out of battery power, so I'm gonna call it a night.
You didn't have that Mountain Dew code right, buddy. That guy did.
No.
Keep it real. All right, folks. So for Matt Riley, for Darren, I'm Alex G. Have a good night.